Hello everyone, my name is Jacob, and today I should be building the A-90 Ekranoplan in Minecraft. Alright, so, a couple of weird things about this vehicle that is in front of me right now. So let's get the facts straight first of all. What is this thing? So, this is an Ekranoplan. And also by the international term, it is called a ground effect vehicle. Now this is a very cool sort of subspecies of like a derivative of an airplane, I guess. So basically this one that we're building today, it's called the A-90 and also called the Orlyonok, and it was developed in the 70s by the Soviet Union at that time, and they wanted to use it for like military purposes. I should backtrack a bit. So the Soviets did quite a lot of experiments with this type of vehicles because they have large rivers and very large lakes in their they had really large lakes and rivers. Well, they still have some, the Russians do, in their territory. They wanted to have some sort of vehicle to traverse those at great speed, and to be able to use it in military for military purposes. Now that's probably just offloading the troops, just like amphibious landings, I guess, and also supply and stuff like that. So basically, they developed quite a number of different sort of designs. They had like one really large one. I believe that was the first one that they built. I'm not sure what that one was called, but you can look it up. It's like a really large one. And this one was considered a medium-sized. I believe it's like a little bit more than 50 meters long. Of course they had some smaller ones as well. Some proofs of concept and stuff like that. But this one I chose because it was the most successful of them all, pretty much. Now, none of these vehicles were extremely popular or built in very great numbers. The numbers usually just move around the number 10 or 20. I'm not sure exactly how many of these were built, but not very many. But I believe definitely the greatest amount of all of the Ekranoplans. So basically, now that we have that out of the way, let me tell you how this thing works and why would anyone want to have one. Okay, so basically, if you look at this thing, it probably looks sort of like an airplane to you. Well, that's because it pretty much is. It's got this fuselage which looks very similar to an airplane fuselage, with the difference in the front. The nose on this one is sort of lifted upwards so that it can traverse water better, and then the rest of it's pretty standard airplane sort of stuff. We've got a vertical stabilizer on the tail, in this case a very large one. We get to that in some time. And then we've got some stubby little wings. So basically, I should really explain the concept of this sort of vehicle, the way it works and the way it is designed, and the purpose of this thing is to fly. And it is an airplane, so it flies as close to, or actually not as close to the surface, but in reasonable distance to the surface of the water. Of course the water needs to be calm for that, and while doing that it achieves something called a ground effect, which means that it has more lift when it is very close to the surface, as opposed to if it was just flying in the upper atmosphere, I guess. So that's the reason it can have wings as short as this, and of course that's really good for like maneuverability, because if this was a conventional airplane, it would have much larger wings, and it wouldn't be as portable, I guess, or as maneuverable. So basically, what this allows it to do is to basically fly anywhere in between like 0 meters above the sea level and 3000, I believe, for this one. And there were different types of these, as I said before. Some couldn't really fly any higher than a couple of meters above the surface. Some, such as this one, could actually reach quite large altitudes for the tiny wings that it has. And then some only use the water as a landing and a takeoff area. So there's basically 3 types like that. So basically, that's pretty much it for our basic sort of rules and like the sort of mechanics of this thing. So basically, the way this is propelled is we've got a large turboprop engine on the tail, on top of the tail, on top of the vertical stabilizer. It has double props, and on top of the vertical stabilizer there's also a very large horizontal stabilizer, all helping to keep this thing not crashing into the water and killing all on board. Also, in addition to that, we've got a couple of jet engines in the very nose of the Ekranoplan. So basically, those provide additional lift. I believe they're used mainly during takeoff, just to get it out of the water more easily. And I think that's pretty much it. I think it is definitely time that we start building this thing, because I've been rambling here for way too long. Alright, so I set up the fuselage ring over here, and I'm just gonna build out and talk while I do it. So basically, as you can see, we've got quite a small diameter fuselage. I've built it like 1 block in the water. That's pretty standard. And then we've got, let's just put this out. We're gonna make the nose as well, which is a bit complex. I spent quite a lot of time on the nose, I seem to remember. Okay, so let's see how this is done. So we go 2 forward and then 2 with a stair. Okay, right. Now this is quite far from the other one, actually, but I think it's gonna be fine. I had to move them apart a bit, so because of the wings, obviously. Okay, so we've got this, and then I think we've got some we've got a slab there. No, actually, we've got just a block and a stair. So like this, and then we've got a block and a stair. Perfect. Not that way though. Okay, and then we do have some slabs, just 1 slab, and then 2 blocks on top, like so. Alright, and then we've got some slabs over here, like so. And then behind that, we start the cockpit glass. Okay. I didn't say before, I believe these things, or some of these, were actually used as civilian transports as well, after they were decommissioned, I guess, or They weren't really used in the first place. I'm not really sure. I'm sure there were some that were used to basically like ferries, I guess, but without cars, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so we've got this, and then we've got some stuff on the side. Let's do the bottom first of all. So we've got a slab there, and then a block, and then a slab, and then a slab. Okay, so let's see. We have one slab here, and then we've got a block on top, and then a slab, and then a block, I think. And then another slab. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then we've got on the outside we've got some stuff as well, so got some stairs. Let's do, yeah, these are quite complex. So we've got one stair going that way and then the other one going the other way, so that's on the outside. So we just bring this out another block basically, and they start, you're gonna have to excuse me, it starts like on the second block of the thing. Okay, right. So basically here we got something like this, and then we've got an upside down one, I believe, right above that. That goes actually on the outside there. Okay, got some blocks there. Okay, so we've got a thingy that goes like this, and then we've got a stripe going all the way on the side. Now some of these were obviously camo, and the different colors, I guess. I just chose this interesting white and blue combo because I thought it was kind of cool, and I saw a picture of one of these that was this color, so I just decided to go for that. Okay, so what I'm making here now is basically the side vent of the jet engine, and that's pretty cool, don't you think? Okay, so here's gonna be the intake right here. Okay, and then we can basically bring this side stripe back, and then let's just see how we finish this this thing. So we've got, oh, this is actually a slab, not a stair. Okay, fine. And then we've got one stair above that, right? Okay, so if you get rid of this stair and replace it with a slab, and then we've got one stair that's like above it, like this, and that's pretty much it for our side intake. The sides of the actual fuselage are very flat, so there's nothing complex about those. And here we go, this is our jet exhaust, I guess, and we're gonna make the intake on the top as well. Now obviously the intake needs to be on top in order for the jet not to suck in too much water, because obviously that would be a pretty big no-no. Okay, so we've got a slab. I think I did this wrong. This should be on the let's see. Okay, yeah, okay, let's just see where this goes. So basically here we should have a slab right there. Okay, and then we got a slab up here, and this is our intake. In the middle, I'm just gonna divide this up basically like this, and then we're gonna have another another thing just like that on the opposite side. Now hopefully I didn't fuck this up like I would do normally. Let's see. Okay, so there's two in front of it, a stair and a thing on the bottom. Okay, yeah, I think that's alright. And then we've got, yeah, I think that's perfect. Okay, so let's do this on the other side as well. Now that I vaguely know what the hell I'm doing here. So basically we've got a slab here, right there, and then we've got a block right behind it. Actually, that is no block, that is indeed a slab. Okay, and then behind that we've got a block and a two blocks actually in a slab. So like this, and then a slab on the bottom. Perfect. And then we've got a block right here. Okay. And then on the side we've got the stupid stairs, obviously, right here, so like this, and then another one. Oh, actually the slab goes right there, and then we've got the other one that goes on top. Now the reason why I'm like giving so much attention to this part is because it is very distinct. You can spot it immediately in the photos, and it's a very unique part of this vehicle, I guess. You don't see many airplanes with this sort of configuration of engines in the nose pointing downwards. It's a very sort of a niche thing, and obviously there for a very good purpose. Okay, let's just do that, fill those in. Okay, perfect. And we've got the side things now, and we can just expand this fuselage thing all the way to the back. That's pretty good. The rest of it is not as complex as the front bit. As I said before, I spent quite a bit of time on front. It still does not look exactly like the real one, but this is pretty much what I had to work with, so yeah, I guess this is what it is. Okay, so let's do the top, so the roof on the front bit as well, and then we're gonna do the rest of the fuselage. So basically we have some white carpet covering the actual cockpit glass, and then behind that we've got just blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and then stairs. Okay, and we have just one side window. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and then stairs. Okay, and then the same obviously on the other side. Perfect. And we're gonna put some black carpet in the middle here, cover the rest of this in the white carpet. There we go. That's looking much better. And then behind that, let's see, we're gonna extend this middle bit for 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and then we're gonna put a sort of a dome thing in there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's probably got a thing as well, maybe not. Okay, let's just fill the rest of this in, and we're gonna have like a dome thing on here. I believe this is just like a turret from when this vehicle was still in military service, same as the thing behind it that I'm gonna build as well, which is just an anvil with a slab on top. Actually, that might be the radar thing. I don't know. Let's just put an anvil down, and we'll see where it gets us. So basically right here with a slab on top. Alright, and then the rest of this is very simple. We've got some slabs on the top, just covering the top basically, and then the sides are also quite simple. Okay, so let's just expand this bottom bit and see how far do we need to go to make it the same length as the other one. Now I don't really know off the top of my head how long it is. If you want to build it, you should just look up the length of the real one. As I said, it is called the A-90 ground effect vehicle, or Orlyonok as well. So you can look up the length of the real one, and this is exactly the same length. Conversion rate 1 block equals 1 meter, which is quite reasonable to me. Okay, so we've got the bottom here. Let's see, it is just flat on the bottom there, and then we raise it up by 1 block and go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks and a slab. So basically we go up and then out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks and a slab. Perfect. And then we do obviously exactly the same on this side and in the middle. There we go. And then after that we go up another block. There we go. And that is in the length of 3 blocks, and then we got a slab in the middle, and then 2 more blocks at the very end. So 1, 2, 3, and then we got a slab in the middle, and then 1, 2 blocks out at the very tail. Perfect. There's the bottom of our fuselage, and then we've got the sides, which are not very complex at all. So we'll bring this side over to 1 block after the this step in the bottom, and then we'll go up like that, and then that's it. And then we're just gonna fill in this part here, and also the blue stripe, obviously. I cannot forget the blue stripe. It is essential for the personality of this ground effect vehicle. Okay, so let's do the other side as well, which is obviously exactly the same. So we go past the step by 1 block and then go up like that, and then that's pretty much it. And then the very end of the tail is a bit more complex, but not really that much. Let's just do the top as well, because why the hell not? So anyway, the reason why I decided to build this thing is because I've always found them really cool. They're not that well known, at least in the Western world. And I think it's a very cool concept, and now obviously it is designed to work in very specific sort of circumstances. As I said, it won't work very well in like rough waters. However, well, obviously this one actually would, because as I said, it can go up to 3,000 meters in like it can go up to 3,000 meters high, so it wouldn't really be bothered by water. However, I think it is the most efficient at the lowest possible altitude. That's pretty much the whole point of this ground effect thing. It is just a efficiency improving thing. Okay, so we've got these things, and then we've got some we've got some white blocks at the end there. Perfect. I think, is this one block shorter? Let's just check that out. Does it check out? I don't know if it does actually. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, fine. We can extend it for one block. I don't see a problem there. We can definitely do that. Now, obviously, one block literally means absolutely nothing. So it's not gonna look any different if it's one block shorter or one block longer. So when you build these things, you don't really need to worry. The margin of error is quite large, given that this thing is overall length is like 50 blocks. So yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Let's do the vertical stabilizer before we do the wings, because we have actually finished the fuselage. So the vertical stabilizer just starts right here at this step in the fuselage. Okay, and then we've got a block, and then we just got stairs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try that. So we've got a block right here, and then we go up. So basically, let's do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we've got stairs covering the front. Perfect. And then we've got a wall of 3 blocks. Okay. Yeah, that's 3 blocks first of all. So 1, 2, 3, and then we've got a slab here. This is our engine bottom, pretty much. And then on the back side, we're gonna start. Let's see, 1 block shy of the end. So here, and we put a stair there as well, upside down. Okay, and we can just go upwards with this. I didn't count it, so I'm just gonna guesstimate it. It is a bit longer than the front, so let's see. Let's just quickly count this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the block on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a block on top. That is perfect. Okay, and then we can just connect this and fill in the inside of this thing, of this vertical stabilizer. Now, as I said before, this thing is very, very large and wouldn't work on a conventional airplane. It would just cause too much drag. But you need as much control on this type of vehicle as you possibly can get, so you better have a large vertical stabilizer as well. Okay, and then after we've done this, we can do the engine. Let's see how we're gonna do this. So we're gonna go out, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks on the side there. Okay, and then actually 1 in the middle and a slab. So we've got, just put this here for now, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we got 1 in the middle and the slab as well. As I said, this is a very large engine. I believe the largest turboprop engine ever built. I believe it is still the case. Which is pretty cool. Now, obviously, it wasn't just developed for this vehicle, because that would just be absurd. They used them. The Soviets used them for different airplanes, like large airplanes. And because it was just lying there, collecting dust, apparently, they decided to put it into this thing. And apparently it worked. Now, the reason that they went for turboprop instead of a conventional jet is probably because of efficiency. I believe this thing would probably get pretty good fuel economy, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure what the term is for airplanes, but imagine like fuel economy for cars. I think this thing would get pretty good fuel economy. Okay, so we've got our two props on the front there. Alright, and then we can do our horizontal stabilizer. Now these are basically like wings on its own, on their own. So we're gonna start it on the fourth block, or actually underneath the third block of the engine, and we're gonna go out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in a straight line. Okay, so underneath the third block there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one's actually missing the bottom here. So sloppy with me. Okay. And then we've got two more blocks there at the end. So, for Christ's sake, like this. And then on the trailing edge, we've got let's see. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. If I can remember that. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Perfect. I have great memory, apparently. I mean, my memory is not terrible. I seem to remember the stuff that I like don't really need to remember more often than like stuff that I should really remember. But maybe I just like to remember stuff that is more interesting to me than like other stuff. So anyway, I'll build the other side right after, but let's do the wing first, or the wings. So they're very short, as I said before, but generally in design very similar to airplane wings. So we're gonna start the wing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks from there, so from the end of the intake or exhaust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that on the 11th block, or? Yeah, okay, let's move this. Alright, so we got a single block there, and then we got a row of 4, and then a row of 4, and then a row of 4. So 3 rows of 4, so 1 row, and then the second row, and then the third row, and then we've got this outrigger going one forward. Okay, so this is above the surface, just 1 block, and then we've got some wing also below the surface, just this end bit. That's like a small pontoon to keep it stable while it is not in flight. Okay, so we can just extend that all the way to the trailing edge of the wing, and then we've got the trailing edge is just a flat bit. So we have let's see, so there's a thing, a slab which is in line with the end here of the pontoon, so that would be here, but that's above the water instead of below. And then the rest of the trailing edge is just in front of that, so basically like this. And as I said, it is just flat. And then we've got 3 rows of slabs, and then also we've got slabs on this pontoon here. Perfect. And then after that it's just blocks, and we just fill this thing right in, and then also we're gonna have some slabs on top to give it more shape and to give it the correct sort of airfoil that it needs to have. Now obviously this thing is still an airplane, so it does still need to fly reasonably well, even though it has very short wings. Okay, so we've got this filled in, and then we're gonna put some slabs on top. So we're gonna start right here, one block behind the first block there of the wing, and then we've got one row of 4 and one row of 3, and that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Okay, so we start right here, and we got one row of 4 and one row of 3. That goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Perfect. And we can just fill in this area. The trailing edge of that of these slabs is also just flat, or straight, I should say. And I believe that's pretty much it for our wing. Let me just finish the other one and the other side of the vertical stabilizer, or sorry, the horizontal stabilizer, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we've got the full completed Orlyonok here, Ekranoplan or ground effect vehicle, whichever you want to use. So this is a very cool thing, and I am very proud to have it in my Minecraft vehicles collection, if that counts for anything. I'm not sure how many of these are still working around the world, how many are still operational, but I would definitely like to have a ride in one of them at some point in my life, hopefully. I think that would just be one of the coolest experiences. So anyway, this was a very long video, sorry for that. I didn't really know if I wanted to make a make this like a pre-recorded sped up video, or just this stupid rambling thing. So instead of a nice organized video, I decided to go for a stupid rambling thing. So I hope you appreciate that, and I'm gonna sign off here. So again, really like this thing. If you like it too, you can press the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also check out my other videos, and I will see you next time. I've also just noticed that I don't have some slabs on this wing for whatever reason. Thanks for watching.